Hello, Army. Lights go down. The studio hums with that familiar late-night electricity, and suddenly the question hits harder than any punchline Jimmy Fallon has ever delivered. What happens when America's favorite talk show host stops joking for a second and lets his real, unfiltered opinions slip about BTS? This isn't about charts, awards, or viral performances anymore. This is about presence. About that split second when the camera cuts, the crowd holds its breath, and you realize some faces just linger longer in your mind than others. Tonight's list isn't random, and it's definitely not polite. It's bold, a little dangerous, and guaranteed to spark debates across timelines and group chats. Why does handsomeness hit differently when it comes from charisma instead of symmetry? Why do some members grow more magnetic the more you learn about their struggles, their humor, their silence? And most importantly, why does the #1 spot feel like it was inevitable all along, even if you don't want to admit it yet? Jimmy Fallon has spent years watching BTS up close. Backstage moments, unscripted laughs, eye contact that doesn't make it to air, and this ranking is built from those moments fans rarely get to see. This isn't a beauty contest. It's a slow burn reveal of confidence, vulnerability, leadership, and that unteachable spark that makes an entire room shift. Some placements will surprise you. Some will make you nod immediately. And one will absolutely break the internet because once you hear the reasoning, you can't unsee it. So stay with me because from #7 to #1, this list isn't just counting faces, it's unpacking why BTS doesn't just perform on stage, they occupy space, and why even someone as seasoned as Jimmy Fallon couldn't look away. #7, Taehyung, the quiet storm effect. When Taehyung lands at #7, it's not because he lacks impact, it's because his kind of handsomeness doesn't shout, it lingers. Jimmy Fallon has seen countless celebrities walk onto a stage, but Taehyung is the type who changes the temperature of a room without saying a word. His visuals are almost unfair, sculpted yet soft, vintage yet modern, but what really places him here is that unpredictable duality. One moment he's playful, chaotic, laughing like a kid who just discovered freedom, and the next he's locked into this deep, unreadable gaze that feels like it belongs in an old jazz club at 2 a.m. Fallon once hinted that Taehyung has movie character energy, the kind that doesn't need dialogue to steal a scene. That's the key. Taehyung's handsomeness works best in silence. His face tells stories before his mouth ever opens. But here's why he sits at #7, not higher. That mystery, as powerful as it is, also creates distance. Taehyung doesn't chase attention. He lets it come to him. On a late-night set where energy, banter, and quick reactions dominate, his charm arrives like a slow wave instead of a punchline. It's mesmerizing, but it takes patience. Fallon's perspective seems shaped by real-time presence, how someone fills the space between jokes, cameras, and live audiences. Taehyung fills it quietly, artistically, almost like he's observing more than performing. And that restraint, while deeply attractive, keeps him just outside the explosive top tier. Still, make no mistake, this isn't a downgrade. Being #7 on this list means Taehyung's beauty isn't fleeting. It's the kind that grows on you, follows you home, and shows up hours later when you suddenly remember his smile or the way he tilted his head during an interview. That's not loud charm. That's lasting impact. #6, Jimin. The soft power phenomenon. Jimin at #6 feels deceptive at first, almost like an understatement, because his handsomeness doesn't announce itself with dominance. It disarms you. Jimmy Fallon has watched Jimin move through studios, rehearsals, and live sets with a kind of emotional intelligence that's instantly readable even to people who don't know BTS deeply. His face carries warmth before the smile even appears, and that's not accidental. Jimin's beauty is rooted in approachability. He looks like someone who listens before he speaks, someone who notices when the room feels off, and that sensitivity shapes how his visuals land. On Fallon's stage, where timing and chemistry matter as much as looks, Jimin's charm works like gravity. You don't realize you're being pulled in until you're already focused on him. But here's the twist that keeps him at #6. Jimin's power is subtle to the point of being almost invisible in a fast-paced environment. His expressions are gentle, his reactions sincere, and his presence feels safe. In a list built on immediate impact, that softness takes a second longer to register. Fallon's ranking seems to reward the kind of handsomeness that hits instantly on camera, and Jimin's appeal blooms over time rather than on first glance. Yet once it blooms, it's hard to look away. There's also his duality that fascinates Fallon, the contrast between the delicate features and the ferocity he unleashes when music starts. That switch flips something in people. One second he's shy, the next he's commanding an arena, and that transformation adds depth to his visuals. Jimin isn't just beautiful, he's emotionally resonant. And that resonance stays with you. Putting him at number 6 doesn't diminish his impact. It highlights how his handsomeness isn't designed to overwhelm. It's designed to connect. And sometimes, connection is more dangerous than confidence because once you feel seen, you're already hooked. Number 5, RM, the intellectual charisma trap. RM taking the number 5 spot says a lot about how Jimmy Fallon defines handsomeness beyond cheekbones and jawlines. This is the kind of ranking that rewards presence, not polish. RM walks into a room and instantly claims it, not by volume, but by clarity. Fallon has interacted with countless global stars, yet RM stands out because he doesn't perform intelligence, he lives in it. His handsomeness is layered, built from confidence that comes from knowing who you are and being completely at peace with it. On camera, that translates into calm authority. You see it in his posture, the way he listens before responding, the way his eyes stay steady even when jokes fly around him. That steadiness reads as attractive, especially in an environment as chaotic and fast-moving as a late-night show. But here's why he lands at number 5 instead of higher. RM's appeal isn't instantly flashy. His face doesn't demand attention the moment he appears. It earns it as the conversation unfolds. Fallon's ranking feels influenced by first impressions under bright lights, and RM's charm is a slow ignition. The longer he speaks, the more magnetic he becomes. His visuals gain strength through context, through meaning, through the stories he casually drops about art, music, and self-reflection. That intellectual depth reframes his looks. Suddenly, his features feel sharper, more intentional, more memorable. There's also something deeply attractive about how RM carries responsibility. As a leader, he doesn't dominate, he anchors. Fallon has watched him guide conversations, protect his members, and still laugh at himself without losing authority. That balance is rare, and it shapes how his handsomeness registers. RM isn't the kind of handsome that stops you mid-scroll. He's the kind that stays in your head after the interview ends, making you rethink what attractiveness really means. Number 5 isn't about limitation. It's about evolution. RM's appeal grows the more you know, and that growth is exactly what makes him impossible to ignore. Number 4, Jungkook, the golden boy magnet. Jungkook at number 4 feels almost unreal, like the list is daring you to question everything you think you know about instant star power. Because if there's one face that cameras fall in love with effortlessly, it's Jungkook. Jimmy Fallon has watched him evolve from the wide-eyed youngest member into a fully formed global icon, and that journey is written all over his face. His handsomeness hits fast, clean, and undeniable. Symmetry, sharp features, expressive eyes, it's all there. But what pushes him into this spot is how naturally he occupies attention without ever looking like he's trying. On Fallon's stage, Jungkook doesn't fight for the spotlight. It finds him anyway. There's an honesty in the way he reacts, laughs, and occasionally gets shy that makes his visuals feel human instead of manufactured. But here's the nuance that keeps him from cracking the top 3. Jungkook's appeal is so universally obvious that it almost becomes expected. Fallon's ranking seems to reward surprise, and with Jungkook, there's very little mystery left on the surface. Everyone already knows he's handsome. The intrigue comes not from discovering it, but from watching how comfortable he's become in that truth. His confidence has matured, less boyish, more grounded, and that maturity adds weight to his presence. There's also his physicality, the athlete's posture, the quiet strength in the way he moves even when standing still. It makes his handsomeness feel reliable, almost safe. And while that's incredibly attractive, it doesn't shock. Jungkook doesn't destabilize a room, he stabilizes it. Fallon's perspective seems shaped by moments that disrupt energy, and Jungkook's energy is smooth, controlled, and consistent. That consistency places him firmly at number 4. Not because he lacks impact, but because his impact is expected. And sometimes, the most powerful magnet in the room doesn't explode, it just keeps pulling everyone in without resistance. Number 3, Jin, the worldwide confidence curveball. Jin crashing into number 3 is where this list starts to feel dangerous, because this isn't just about looks anymore, it's about timing, awareness, and weaponized self-knowledge. Jimmy Fallon has watched Jin do something very few celebrities can pull off. Completely disarm a room by knowing exactly how handsome he is and choosing humor over ego. That awareness changes everything. Jin's face is classic, almost old-school celebrity handsome, clean lines, expressive eyes, a smile that lands before the punchline does. But what elevates him into the top 3 is how deliberately he uses that face. On Fallon's stage, Jin doesn't just sit there and look good. He plays with the camera, with the audience, with expectations. He knows when to lean into the worldwide handsome persona and when to flip it into comedy, and that control is incredibly attractive. Fallon responds strongly to that kind of self-possession. It reads as confidence without arrogance, charisma without effort. Jin's handsomeness becomes interactive. It's not static, it's alive. And then there's his emotional timing. Jin has this uncanny ability to read the room, to sense when things need energy, when they need warmth, and when they need relief. That emotional intelligence reframes his visuals. Suddenly, his smile feels like a release valve for tension, and that's powerful. But here's why he doesn't take the top spot. Jin's charm thrives in performance and interaction. Remove the exchange, the banter, the shared moment, and some of that magic dims. Fallon's ranking seems to favor presence that dominates even in stillness, and Jin shines brightest when he's actively engaging. Still, number 3 is a massive statement. It says Jin's handsomeness isn't just seen, it's felt. It says confidence, humor, and emotional awareness can elevate classic visuals into something unforgettable. And once Jin locks into that rhythm, it's almost impossible not to smile back. Number 2, Suga. The silent authority glow-up. Suga at number 2 is where the list fully abandons safe choices and leans into something deeper, something earned. This placement isn't about instant charm or polished smiles. It's about gravity. Jimmy Fallon has watched Suga change over the years, not loudly, not dramatically, but with a consistency that's impossible to ignore. His handsomeness doesn't come from trying to be seen, it comes from being completely comfortable not needing to be. That quiet authority reads powerfully on camera. On Fallon's set, where energy is usually fast and playful, Suga stands out by slowing everything down. His gaze is steady, his expressions minimal, and that restraint creates tension. You find yourself waiting for him to react, to speak, to smirk, and when he does, it lands harder than any joke. That's a rare kind of attractiveness, the kind that commands attention without asking for it. Suga's visuals have matured alongside his identity as a producer, a thinker, and an artist who's survived his own doubts and scars. You can see it in his face. The confidence isn't decorative, it's lived in. Fallon seems drawn to that authenticity. There's nothing performative about Suga's presence. When he sits, he owns the space simply by being there. And that's why he climbs so high on this list. But why not number 1? Because Suga's handsomeness is selective. It resonates strongest with those who notice nuance, silence, and depth. It doesn't explode across the room instantly. It pulls you in slowly, almost privately. Fallon's top pick feels destined to have a broader, more immediate impact. Still, number 2 is a powerful position. It says Suga's appeal isn't fleeting or trendy. It's solid, grounded, and intimidating in the calmest way possible. The kind of handsome that doesn't fade when the lights go out, but somehow becomes clearer. Number 1, J-Hope, the unstoppable light that breaks the internet. J-Hope taking the number 1 spot isn't a twist ending. It's a realization that hits all at once and suddenly feels impossible to argue with. This is the moment where Jimmy Fallon's ranking stops being about traditional handsomeness and becomes about presence, so powerful it rewires how you define attraction. J-Hope doesn't just walk into a room, he ignites it. Fallon has seen performers who are funny, who are charming, who are talented, but J-Hope operates on a different frequency. His face lights up before his body even moves, and when he smiles, it doesn't feel like a reaction, it feels like an event. That brightness isn't superficial, it's earned. It comes from discipline, resilience, and an almost frightening level of self-awareness. J-Hope's handsomeness is kinetic. Even standing still, he looks like he's in motion. His eyes are sharp, alert, alive, always communicating something just beneath the surface. On Fallon's stage, that translates into instant command. Cameras love him because he gives them energy to work with. Audiences feel him because his enthusiasm is authentic, not performed. He doesn't borrow charisma from the spotlight, he creates it. And here's the crucial reason he breaks the internet at #1. J-Hope's appeal is universal. You don't need context. You don't need to understand BTS lore. You don't even need to be a fan. His confidence, warmth, and joy register immediately. Fallon's ranking clearly values that immediacy, the ability to connect in seconds, not minutes. But what truly seals the top spot is contrast. J-Hope isn't just sunshine. Beneath that brightness is intensity, precision, and control. When he switches from playful to focused, from laughter to leadership, the shift is magnetic. It reframes his face, his posture, his entire aura. Suddenly, the smile carries authority. The warmth carries power. That duality is devastatingly attractive. Fallon has watched him balance being the emotional engine of the group with being one of its sharpest performers, and that balance shows. J-Hope's handsomeness isn't static, it adapts to the moment. It lifts others, fills silences, and dominates attention without ever feeling forced. That's why this placement doesn't just make sense, it feels inevitable. #1 isn't about who looks best in a still image. It's about who leaves the strongest afterimage when the show is over. And when J-Hope leaves the stage, the energy doesn't drop, it echoes.